What's going on, guys? I know it's still the weird setup, it all good, but we got a video from, oh my god, stupid fire alarm, smoke alarm, sorry. Neural Cloud Girls Frontline. I'm actually been interested in this game, and unfortunately, I thought it was actually coming out, but I guess it was just a closed beta, which I wasn't invited. So here I am, I'm going to react to FG3000, FG bruh. I'm gonna be looking at his gameplay that he just dropped literally today, and I'm gonna be looking at the game and going over things that I like and dislike about it, and we could talk and discuss this together. And let me just turn that smoke alarm off, and yeah, we can have some fun. So without further ado, let's do it.
All the time talking about labyrinth mode this and roguelike that, but if you've never played a game that actually had any of those qualities, you might not know what I'm talking about. So in today's video, we're going to be focused on combat and kind of show you what the minute-to-minute gameplay feels like here in Neural Cloud. All right, so let's go ahead and get set up for combat. As you guys can see, I'm bringing 6 waifus with me.
Alright, so first off, it's 6 units. First off, it looks like it's 6 units, which is pretty cool. And they all have like special abilities and stuff like that. I saw some people say it's like very similar to Arknight, and I never got into Arknight. I don't know why. I do like tower based, like tower defense type of games. I don't know. It just didn't scream out to me. This game for some reason does, and maybe it's because, you know, I'm not a fan of getting into stuff late, like after it's already been established and stuff like that. You can't come up with stuff, you know, everything's already spelled out. You try to be creative and you get shot down. If I'm not mistaken, that's the issue that Tectone also had as well. So let's listen to FG explaineth.
Out of a total of 8, right? 5 that are going to be in direct combat and 3 that are going to be on your support sidelines. Also, what you bring to combat are things called flexible strategy. Just a real quick overview of what these are. These are basically summoner abilities, right?
So that's I'm like rewatching this because I skimmed over a lot of it and I was like, I like had it in my ear, but not that. So I didn't actually know that they had this. So you have like abilities that you can use in the midst of the fight.
We have 3 different types of flexible strategy. One, which is a teleport, which allows me to teleport my units around the battlefield.
Cool.
I have a cyclone, which allows me to take an enemy out of combat for 3 seconds and stun them once they're done. And I also have an ability called express recharge, which allows me to remove the cooldown of my active skills. Once again, these are all going to make more sense once we're actually into combat. So real quick, showing you which characters we're going to...
And yes, I'm not a fan of chibi stuff, as you guys know, but I don't know why sometimes the chibi games do pretty well. Of course, they have art like this. I was still waiting for this game. I don't remember. I almost want to find it like deep in his, actually in FG's archives. It was a tower-based game with the graphics of like Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know what the name of it. If you guys know, please let me know. But it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. And that's one of the ones that I'm waiting for. But I'm definitely waiting for this one. I'm waiting for Higan, and there's another one. Oh, the Night Cord Kingdom I'm waiting for as well.
We're going to be bringing to combat. Of course, first and foremost, we have to have a medic. Live 2D looking fantastic. Here is my tank. I have a melee attacker, DPS, a supporter who's going to be buffing up my
talking about right here.
And then I have a range DPS, kind of like a sniper type. All right, so let's talk about the campaign flow. So this is going to look really familiar or really unfamiliar depending on which games you play. So here's what you need to know about traversing these stages, right? You are trying to carve a pathway through all of these different nodes as you make your way to the final boss stages. These stages also drop different types of upgrades, which make your team even stronger.
I'm a big, huge fan, but oh, my glasses are broken, by the way. I love games like this. I love the, what do they call it, labyrinth mode, or like the Hades thing, like you fight a stage and then like it's the same thing we just did with Unhappy Raccoon. I love stuff like this. It's the type of RNG that I like. I like that type of RNG, like where it's actually within the gameplay a little bit, but it's not like RNG to the point where like I just feel like it's not even RNG. Sometimes it's just like it's unfair because they just scale something or they make something super resistant so you can't stun it or land a debuff or something like that. This type of way is that I have to kind of pick how good my run is gonna go. I love stuff like that. I think it actually really meshes well with gacha games.
You also do not replenish HP in between stages.
Okay.
So your HP is very dependent on your healer, on your squad, and these recovery tiles as well. If you don't need them, you can skip them, but they're there for a reason, right? All right, so that's enough talk. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, to start this off, I have 3 different combat zones that I can select. Each one of these is going to drop a different upgrade for a specific class type. So
Cool, and I see it, warrior, medic, and guard. So depending on what he wants to upgrade, and that's also probably going to depend on the units that you summon, which one that you want to get. Okay, I'm starting to see it. Again, I watched this once, but I should say I listened to it, and then I watched some of the gameplay.
Yeah, warrior, medic, and guard. I'm actually going to go for the guard stage.
Wrong! Let me stop.
I want to make my tanks as strong as possible.
Gotcha.
Now, to break down the combat screen,
down
here in the bottom left-hand corner, here are your flexible strategies.
Cool.
Once again, we'll talk about that once combat actually begins. Over here on your right side of your screen, you're going to...
Like he said, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a unit back here, it seems like. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, and then a unit that stays in the back.
You're gonna see these character portraits. These will light up once it's time for you to use your ultimate.
Gotcha.
On the actual battlefield itself, once again, this is a grid-based strategy RPG, and basically what these grids allow you to do is to move around your...
I love that. Picking them up and they're like, oh god, that's actually pretty good.
Units across the battlefield. That way you have the most optimal setup to counter your enemy. You can also see that some of these tiles have different types of buffs as well.
Cool.
So this tile right over here is a taunt tile. So I definitely want to put my tank here because that's going to double her physical defense. And also it's going to allow her to taunt all enemies nearby.
This is actually very similar to the Higgin game. I'm looking forward to that too. Just that it's more chibi modeled, right? So it's like the same similar thing. They had the spaces, certain spaces gave you certain stuff. You have to move your units around. I mean, this is also very tower defense-esque, right? But it's a chibi one. I don't know which one will come out. I would obviously prefer Higgin because it looks a little bit better. But this game, I think Higgin is, like the summoning thing, if I'm not mistaken, is done differently. And also like gearing is done differently as well too. So still interested to see how this plays. Hopefully you guys, let's check it out.
As far as my range unit, I'm going to put her on this overdrive tile. And basically what overdrive does is it allows your unit to instantly shoot off their ability as soon as combat starts.
Awesome.
Right? So let me make sure that my formation is how I want it. I think we're good. So let's go ahead and start battle.
And it starts immediately. As you can see, the thing started off. Okay.
You can see right over here, my tank has taunted all of these units in the face.
Got it.
What I'm trying to wait for is my tactical still. This is the teleport that we were talking about a little bit earlier. I'm going to teleport my warrior back over here to the back line to destroy my enemy's ranged units.
Nice.
So that is working out pretty well. Down goes the additional tank there, and that is going to be a GG. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on ×2 speed.
Now, honestly, this is the type of gameplay that I do expect from a mobile game, right? Sometimes it's like, it doesn't need to be super flashy, but I feel like it's a nice, effective. Everything is not like too overcrowded. It has a slower pace so that I can kind of keep up with it. I actually think this is like a perfect mobile game.
Because the battle is won. All right, so we just defeated that stage and we just gained a brand new function. Now this function, as you guys remember, is just for my guard type characters. And the game has a really nice quality of life that'll let you know all the different guards that you have on your team. Right now, I only have one. So when an enemy falls, guards gain an HP shield. That is fantastic.
This is the type of stuff that makes you want to think like, oh, let me go with a full medic team and see if I can pass this stage. I love games that let you do that, or you can come up with a unique thing, especially because these are the type of games, and I feel like always tower defense games, especially, it's really good because it's so focused on PvE. It's easy to make guides, it's easy to make stuff like that because people might struggle, and especially a game like this where it may not be as like action based, right? So like a lot of times when I look at a Genshin Impact kind of game, right? Sometimes it has nothing to do with a little to do with strategy, right? But like it has nothing to do with strategy. It's like mostly just don't get hit and keep doing the normal structure of the game, right? But sometimes it might be like you have to put a character here, start here, and then do this, and then maybe you could do this. I don't know. I find like tower defense games, which it kind of should be, is a little bit more strategic over just like time frame and timing and stuff like that. But sometimes these games are the same way. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Like these games usually involve a little bit more strategicness because of the limitation of movement that you have. Like you don't have the ability to dodge, and it's like how do you beat the stage? Well, you just dodge and don't get hit. It's like, yeah, and that's why bullet hell stuff usually has it that you can't just dodge. There's stuff that you have to mitigate. You have to keep in mind that there's stuff like that. But most of the time, those games have big red fields and they don't slam immediately. You can get out the way, stuff like that. So yeah.
So we'll go ahead and select that.
Okay.
My next stage, I can go for another stage that's going to give me another guard function.
Or
I can go for this anomaly area. I'm going to go for the anomaly.
Yes.
You never know what it might be. All right. So I can gain 25 coins, or I can gain a random function card. I'm going to go for the random function card. Let's see. So if we take a look at what we got another guard function.
Lucked out.
Guards gain an HP shield of 50% hash rate every 5 seconds. So guards automatically recover HP. The amount of HP recovered increases when they have an HP shield. All right, so that's actually really good synergy because I have this ability, this residue extraction, which is going to give my tank an HP shield.
That's nuts. That's pretty cool. And I think that that stuff happens because he has 2 defense things, absolute defense domain. It looks like it's kind of like a gear set thing. He has 2 of them, so it gets that, and then if he gets 4, he gets that ability too.
So I already have some really good synergy between those 2 abilities.
I'm assuming that's how it works.
This stage right over here is extremely hard for me. I'm actually not going to do that. Well, let's do another.
IFG, bruh, come on, man. I can tell. I think at the bottom left is his combat power, so the game is telling him his combat power is not high enough, so he's not going to do it. Makes sense.
Another anomaly area here. All right, so this anomaly is actually very interesting. So
obtain threat upgraded, overloaded status. Enemies in the conflict zone have their HP and attack increased by 15%. Quadruple the rewards. Okay, so he can choose. I think I remember hearing this. He could choose if he wants to do this. He'll get better rewards, but it's harder. Or he can just go with this, conceal the vulnerability, and then he gets money. He has a choice here, I think.
I can go for the 40 coins, or I can opt to make my enemy's HP and attack increase by 15%, right? So I'm gonna make my enemies stronger, but it's also gonna quadruple my rewards on every stage except for the boss stage. That's okay by me.
Oh, that's in general. So I thought it was just one stage.
You know what? Let's go for it. Extreme bonuses. You love to see. Here, I don't need this recovery tile.
Nope.
My HP is looking pretty good. So let's go for this conflict zone. This is going to drop a warrior buff, right?
So now they're stronger.
So as far as my setup is concerned, my tank is still where I need them. Everything is looking pretty good. Turn this back,
boom, there we go.
Back down to ×1 speed. Teleport my warrior to the back line.
Same strategy.
I'm going to kind of wait for my energy recharge because I want to make sure my tank
Look at the HP shield. Like I don't know where you guys are looking currently. I'm staring and looking at here because I know the HP shield's healing every time something dies. It gets another shield. This thing is just tanking for days.
My tank is doing really well. I was kind of worried about her HP, but she's doing really, really well. And that is going to be GG.
Nice.
All right, so here are my next sets of functions that I can select here. So 1 for warrior or 1 for medic. So my medics speed up their auto skill recharge by 10, 15, and 20%.
Cool.
Or I can go for an ability that's going to improve my warriors, which is called Swift Strike. So warriors have their crit rate increased by 5% and their attack speed increased by 10 points when they land critical strikes.
And it stacks. And I guess if he keeps going that, because these things are titled stuff, coordinated crits, supplemental dose.
If I want,
I think
can
it goes
also
up there.
discard these or refresh them.
Oh, okay. I didn't even. I noticed this. I didn't know what it was for. So, and that's what these. Where is it? He has 45 coins, so he can actually doesn't have to even choose these, and he can discard it to get money, which is pretty cool too.
But I'm pretty happy with Swift Strike. Let's go for that.
Okay.
Here once again, I can go for a buff that's going to give us guard functions or another anomaly. I'm going to go for the anomaly once again.
Yep.
For no cost, I get a random function card. Why would I say no? Very, very nice. I can also spend 20 coins to get another random function card.
And I've also noticed up here it's 4 out of 13, so he can only get a couple, then he has to sell some that's probably not as functioning. And depending on how long these are, you could definitely see like it would be a really intricate thing, like, oh crap, I'm making this really sexy build. So I think that would be interesting as well.
Why not? And that's all I got. All right, that's good to go.
Yeah, he's broke now.
Let's see what we picked up here. So
Functional
we picked up
library.
a function called Overdrive. After using any skill, medics have their attack speed increased by 40 points for the next 4 seconds.
What he, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
and for
that
my
already.
snipers, every 5 attacks, snipers deal an additional instance of true damage with their next strike. This
Cool.
next tile is called Function Library, which kind of helps you mitigate a little bit of RNG here, because this allows you to select a pretty nice selection of different types of functions here.
I see 2 violent surges. So it looks like I was thinking before, is that some of them are in the same family, right? And then like you keep stacking it and you get a buff from being in that same one. So I want to see that as going forward, right?
So what do I want to do? For every 1 enemy fallen, my warriors recover HP.
Nice.
My warriors do more damage with targets that have less
That's
than
better.
50% HP.
I would take
or Furious Deterrence, which allows me to do additional bleed damage. I'm gonna go for the bleed damage. That looks good to me. All right, so this next tile is your trading area. This is basically your shop. So currently we have 25 coins. I can use those coins to buy different functions or protocols. We'll talk about protocols real briefly here in a second. You can also sell functions as well. So there might be situations where you want to kind of, you know, sell less effective functions if you choose to. If I had more gold, I can actually buy some of these protocols. Now these protocols are very interesting, right?
Allied melee units' physical defense is increased by 30%, but their attack speed is reduced.
So this one, for example, is called Solid Wall. My melee units are going to have increased physical defense by 30%, but my ally units' attack speed is going to be reduced by 30%. So
that's kind of rough.
That's not a protocol that I want to go for. I think here I'm just going to go for another function. Specialists grant a damage HP reduction shield. I'm going to go for that one. And that will do it. Only have 5 coins left, so we'll go ahead and leave the shop. So my next move here is the recovery area. This is basically the campfire before the boss right over here, right? But my HP is actually looking pretty good. So the cool thing about these recovery areas...
So this is actually Slay the Spire-esque at this point, right? Going towards the path, recover, heal, upgrade a card. Very Slay the Spire, actually, which is labyrinth mode in a nutshell. And a lot of times people consider gacha games like a card game, like your deck. This is your deck that you're bringing in. You have to learn how to use your cards in your deck. Generate a trading area and enter. Awesome. So pretty much you can do a shop, and then depending on how long these go on for, it's actually like I like that a lot.
Check this out. I can recover HP if I want to. I don't need that. I can upgrade one of my function cards, which is what you should do. Yeah. Or I can generate a trading area, which I don't need to do. Once again, remember these are RNG, right? I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade one of my cards here. So I'm gonna go for upgrading my Swift Strike. That's gonna take it from a blue function
so I was wrong about that.
Function, making it even more potent here.
So I was actually wrong about that. I thought you had to stack them, but it's as you upgrade them. Very like it reminds me very similar to Slay the Spire.
Now here is the boss terminal, dude. This is gonna be so strong.
3624.
Oh my god. Okay.
God, they look so stupid though. I hate chibi models. They're so garbage.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, but you know what? We're gonna try our best. All right. I like my setup. Let's go.
Okay.
×2 speed. Turn it down. Teleport my warrior to the back line. Get rid of you guys here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this sniper in a
almost
tornado
dying
because you're doing way too.
So that was his skill, right? The stun. He does a hit him up and then stuns him.
Damage here. I have an ultimate for my tank, but I'm not gonna use it at the moment.
Look at the tank. Tank's fine now.
Wait.
Now they're moving up because they have to get in range.
Are gonna move up here a little.
Okay, that was cool. I was actually wondering whether or not they would get blocked by each other. Some games they do that, like TFT that happens. Like units can't walk through other units, but maybe it's because there is actually available space here that they can do that. But yeah.
We'll go, oh, come on. I was just about to use my ultimate. Dude, I was way stronger than I thought I was. Now look at these yellow legendary functions here. So these are the best of the best, right? So I can go for one for my snipers. Snipers have their attack reduced, but normal attacks deal extra physical damage to the nearby enemy, so kind of like an AoE. Or I can do a guard one. Guards taunt the enemy furthest away when they use any skill. Dude, that's kind of interesting.
That's nuts.
I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go for a distance taunt here. All right, so we just defeated level 1. Here we are in level 2.
So it's kind of like a repeat. I do want to see like there is a ultimate skills.
This is the final area before you actually.
Look how far that is, and look, he's already at 8 out of 14 in the first area, so you definitely will see. I don't know if later on you'll be able to equip more of them as you play, stuff like that. Very interesting gameplay loop, honestly.
Defeat the stage itself. So let's go through this. I'm gonna go a lot faster this time around.
Oh, okay.
Let's go for a sniper node here. Battle start, ×2 speed.
Oh, look, the guy went straight to the background.
That is the proest of all strats, my friend. I'm gonna go ahead and recharge my medic. That way I can heal. I don't want anyone to get too low. That is going to be a GG. On to the next one. This is going to be rapid fire combat. You ain't never seen this before. I only have one choice
exactly.
Here, right?
This would,
so snipers will attack the enemy with a...
This would be normally very quick. You wouldn't spend too much time. You kind of wouldn't know what you're trying to go through.
HP will take it. Here I have a choice between an entry-level zone...
Yeah, see, look, exactly. That's what I was hoping. So, like, he can go do some nonsense, but he just did a 3,000 thing. I would just go with the purple.
Or a little intermediate difficulty here, which is going to give me a specialist function.
And, what is that? I was about to say Exospheres. I'm so sorry. This light has a similar thing like this, too.
Let's go for the slightly harder one here. I'm going to move my...
Oh, okay, he has more nodes. His nodes are a little bit different now.
What was that noise, FG? Dude, I don't know. All right, my tank is going to kind of walk around here.
Oh, look at that.
Fine. ×1 speed just for a second. I don't like where you are. I'm gonna move you over here.
Yeah, but you open the floodgates.
I'm gonna.
Oh, by the way, also they usually do sometimes they do it that if you do this on auto or something like that, you get extra points or extra thing by like letting the game play by itself. Versus if you, I think, didn't Arknights do that? I remember hearing that one time. Like if you auto it, you get more rewards based instead of if you actually manual stuff or it's like a time limit thing, time skills, time gate, whatever.
I go ahead and put one of my own allies in a tornado to kind of keep her out of trouble
Nice.
right now.
That was smart.
This big tank ran over here to my other tank, which is perfect. Perfect. ×2 speed. Let's go. A little sloppy, but we got it done. Very nice. Dude, I love labyrinth style roguelite adventures, man.
Me too.
This is pretty cool.
So you didn't get a purple thing. They're still entry level, but maybe it was just like the chance of it happening, I guess.
It just, something about this, being able to kind of like overpower my team, this is what I live for when it comes to these games. Freezing bullets.
One other thing that he hasn't addressed that I know of is the team power thing. Like, I don't know if, like right here, let's say he doesn't care about either one. Do you just go with team power because it's better, like makes your overall team stronger? Or is that just them letting you know how much you're gonna get increased by anyway? I'm sure not. But this was the thing in actually this is the thing in Exos Heroes, that once you reach a certain level, power level, battle power or whatever like that, you could just auto skip it because your team was so strong, and that would actually became a thing. Like you didn't really care about the units that were in there. You just had to level them up, equip them with some random gear, and if you got to the power, the battle power, boom, you could skip it. So I wonder if it's like that, thing like that, because maybe eventually, and that was actually the thing with Counterside that I got annoying, is that your team got so strong and there was some stuff you could skip, in Artery Gear 2, some stuff you could skip, but then it's like, I don't want to do a whole labyrinth like this, especially if it's like a resource grind. I don't want to have to do it if my team's like dramatically stronger, unless he can play it auto by himself, which FG has not shown. You can auto the instance, but he hasn't shown whether or not you can auto the entire labyrinth. But I would prefer you just not have to do that. You just auto it, you get the rewards, you're too strong, done.
Every 3, 2, or 1 normal attacks will do a frozen. Interesting. Or my specialists, when they use any skill, they speed up their skill recharge. I'm gonna go for skill recharge. That sounds really good.
Yeah, he has 2 units there.
Now I can go for another conflict zone, or I can go to the library.
Yeah, I'm gonna skim ahead now. I hope you guys get the gist of it. He's just gonna finish out the run like how I did. Oh, here we go. They have, this is what I was looking for.
Dude, I wasn't ready for this. All allies will have their HP restored. Okay, fine. Like, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? All right. Let's go.
So big tankus. So these are like the skills.
I wasn't expecting this, dude. I was doing my outro and everything.
So it was like, it's actually like a little short anime cut. Very small, like not too long, especially because of the game mode. I find it okay. You know, it's not like too glamorous, and again, really fits for the mobile platform. Sometimes, you know, these games are not really trying to be mobile, but it looks like this game should run on anything. Doesn't look too crazy.
But yeah, dude, we're destroying these dudes. No problems whatsoever. All my HP is really good because we grab just the right amount of medic abilities, right? Like, this was the run. If you've ever watched me play any type of labyrinth style or roguelike game before, you know I always kind of like prematurely call the run.
But that's really it. And then I think he goes to like the summons. Like the summons are always, I don't know, like kind of trash in this game, in these type of games. I think there's also an intimacy system. I think he goes over some other things, but I just basically wanted to show the combat. That's what I was interested in. Let me know what you guys feel about the combat. I'm super interested if you guys are interested in seeing this game on the channel. I would probably play it anyway when it does come out. They have no real news on when it's coming out to global. I actually don't even know if it's in a different region. I would even play it in a different region, especially if the data transferred over, which it never does. But, you know, it would be cool to just kind of get my hands on it and kind of get used to the menus and stuff like that. Kind of like Full Metal Alchemist. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know how you guys feel, and peace.